somebody just watch him, and you can probably notice that there is something different about me, which is I've actually got a haircut. I just had a haircut today. Normally, my mum does my haircut, but I went shopping today, and then I got a different haircut when I went there. I wasn't going to, but I decided to go ahead and get a different haircut because my sister and my mum really wanted me to have a new haircut. So I got a new haircut, ready for this video, which is the movie review for Marvel's Eternals, the 26th and latest film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is, of course, a non-spoiler review, so you don't have to worry about being spoiled of this film. You can let me know what you thought of the film in the comment section below, but no spoilers, as like I said, it is a non-spoiler review. And that being said, let's get started with the good. So for the good, we'll start off with, I enjoyed some of the characters. Some of the characters I did really enjoy, and I thought that they were done very well in the film. I also thought that there were 10 members of the Eternals, and each one has a unique superpower to one another, and they have different and unique personality traits and problems going on with their lives, which make them a bit more unique, to make them stand out. Each of them have got their own unique things about them. I also think that the cast is very strong in the film. You got quite a few A-list actors here, especially with Angelina Jolie playing her character Athena, which I think she did a very good job playing that character. I think the cast was quite strong in this film. And that's why I decided to mention it here in the good. I also thought there were quite a few emotional scenes as well. I do quite like it when films do get to me emotionally, and there were a few times it was like that for me in this film. Other things to mention about the good is that I like that the film is trying something different, and I applaud it for that. It doesn't stick with the normal MCU formula. It does something new, and like I said, I really appreciate that about it. I think I like that they're doing something ambitious. It's a very ambitious film. I also thought that the action was done very well. I mean, I think pretty much every single MCU film has amazing action, and this one definitely did not disappoint. And I think it's easily the best looking film, one of the best looking films in the MCU. I think the visuals and CGI are breathtaking at times. It's just absolutely amazing with what they can do with their effects in these films now. I also thought the film was quite funny as well. There were a few scenes that did make me laugh. And do, you're going to be expecting humour in these Marvel films. I think that this one definitely had quite funny scenes. I wouldn't say it's the funniest film in the MCU, but it definitely was quite a funny film. So one more thing to really mention about the good, which is I thought the music for the film fit well with it, and I just think it really suited the film, and I like the songs that they use as well in this film. But now I'll move on to the bad for the film. Right, so for the bad, there's actually quite a few things to mention. So we'll start off with it introduced too many characters. They didn't have to be that many, but they did all exist in the Marvel comics, so I can see why the director wanted to include all those 10 Eternals. But it's just too many characters, and I think it's going to be difficult to make a film like that work, and you really care about every single character. You don't have enough time to really care about them. I just think the way they could have made the film better was just maybe half the Eternals, and maybe get rid of 3 or 4 would have really made a big difference. I also thought that the story for the film it's okay. I quite liked it, but it's a story we've seen a lot before, very familiar. It's quite unique for the MCU though, but it is a very familiar plot that I've seen in quite a few films. And it's been better in those films, but I did still quite enjoy this plot, although it was nothing unique. I also thought there were a few scenes that were a little bit confusing. I didn't really get my head around it, but I think if I rewatched it, I think those scenes would definitely make a lot more sense. There is one sex scene to be aware of, so you should be at least 12 years old watching this film. It is a 12A. Do not bring your young kids in the cinema with you. I was watching the film and I was about a 7-year-old in the film, and don't bring your young kids to this film, please. Be at least 12 years of age. And I think this movie has too much going on. It doesn't give much time to really slow it down. There's there's a lot too many characters, quite a lot of plots. It just can be a bit too much after a while in the film. Another thing to mention about the bad is it does try too hard to be funny. A few of the times, and there was one joke where it lasted too long. I did feel like it ended on a slight high note, but it was just a joke that it was funny for about a few minutes, and it just got too ridiculous in the film, and it sort of just it just ruined the film a tiny bit for me. It wasn't too much of an issue though. I also thought that the film goes back and forth with there are flashbacks in the film, and they do go quite back and forth with them, so it could be a bit confusing, and I think there's just too much of that with this film. I also think that the film is definitely one of the longer films in the MCU. It's over 2.5 hours long. It's the length it should be with the amount of characters in the film, but if they cut down the characters, they should definitely cut down the length as well. And there are two end credit scenes, by the way. One of them's a few minutes after the credits, and one of them is right after the credits. It's not anything bad I'm going to mention about it. I just want to mention that if you're going to watch the film, definitely stay for the end of the credits to watch those two end credit scenes. But now I'll move on to the verdict for the film. I recommend this film to people who like Marvel films and superhero films in general. It is a film I've got a lot of problems with, and I don't feel like this could have been an amazing film no matter what. There's just too many characters, too many plot lines, and it's just some of the parts of the film is quite familiar to other films I've seen. So I just think it's an okay Marvel film. I don't think it's one of their worst films they've done, but I don't think it's one of their better ones. It's just an okay film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I would rate it a 6.5 out of 10. I still recommend to watch it. Would I watch it again? Probably not for a few years though. And that's really all I've got to say for this review for Marvel's Eternals. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And you can let me know what you thought of this film in the comment section below. But no spoilers, as it is an unspoiler review. That's really all I'm going to mention for this video. And Excelsior, enough said, and ciao.